All right, so here we're getting to the actual graphing. Ultimately, the question isn't do 7 steps. The question is graph. Luckily, I own a graphing calculator. I could just take this. So what do we got here? 5 plus 2x over 1 plus x. Okay, and if I wanted to put that in my calculator, use as many parentheses as you possibly can. Is that my calculator loves to misinterpret me. That's why I try and put them in the notes. Okay, the numerator totally in parentheses. The denominator totally in parentheses. Otherwise, my calculator will try for something like 5 plus 2x over 1 plus x. It just decides, I'll just pick out whichever bits I want and put those in the numerator and those in the denominator. If you put parentheses around the numerator and parentheses around the denominator, your calculator is forced to accept, oh, that's the numerator, that's the denominator. Okay, so I could just put it in my calculator, but I would see all these things and I wonder just exactly what spot is that in. If somebody's asking, where's the vertical asymptote? And I'm staring at my calculator, well, gosh, it kind of looks like, I don't know, is it? You could just go, oh, well, wait, that one's easy. Okay, that's just set the denominator equal to 0. Why don't I just quick check that? Oh, yeah. Okay, so my vertical is at x equals -1. Okay, so I know, even though it looks like a heartbeat on my calculator, I know that that's actually at -1. Horizontal, you got to go with the highest powers. Okay, 2x and x. You can't go with the 5 and the 1 just because they're first. 2x over x. Okay, so that's 2. That's the horizontal. So I go up here to 2 and I make a horizontal. That's where it's tapering out. Okay, x-intercepts. That's what that's short for, x-intercepts. X-intercept is places where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, so it's places where the y is places where the entire thing is equal to 0, where the y is equal to 0. If I set the whole thing equal to 0. But that's the same thing as just setting the numerator equal to 0. The denominator is not allowed to be 0. So x-intercepts, the way you get those is set the numerator equal to 0. So 5 plus 2x equals 0. X equals -5 halves. Okay, -5 halves is like -2.5. It'd be about there. And it's an x-intercept. It's crossing the x-axis. And that was the only thing I got from setting the numerator equal to 0. You don't have to do anything with setting the denominator equal to 0. That happened up here in the vertical asymptote step. Okay, so done that one. Y-intercepts, same way you get y-intercept anywhere. Plug in 0. So I would go 5 plus 2 times 0 over 1 plus 0. So that would be 5 over 1. That's 5. Okay, that's a y-intercept. That's where it's going to cross the y-axis. So that's right there. Okay, symmetry. Well, this isn't symmetric because that's even and that's odd and that's even and that's odd. I can kind of tell it's not symmetric anyway, because if it was symmetric, my asymptotes should be all matchy-matchy on either side of some line, and they're not. They're just kind of on there somewhere. Plot points. Well, if I was really stuck for points here, I need some more points. Well, I'm never really going to be really stuck for points because I'm going to have already put it in my calculator, so pretty much already know the shape anyway. But I can also figure out I got to go through that point and I got to match these lines here. So it must be going through that point and running all along those lines. It's not going to cross those lines. It's just going to make an L shape having to do with those lines. So even if I didn't own the calculator, I probably wouldn't need to plot any points on this one. But since I do own a calculator, I definitely don't need to. That's what it looked like on my calculator. All right, let's try another one. 1 over x squared. Okay. All right, so vertical. Set the denominator equal to 0. Horizontal. All right, set the numerator equal to 0. There's no way the numerator is equal to 0. I mean, no, horizontal is look at the powers. Sorry, that's x-intercept. Is look at the powers. Power on the top is smaller than the power on the bottom. So that's the x-axis. All right, now x-intercepts. Set the numerator equal to 0. 1 equals 0. That just does not happen. Empty set, that's not going to happen. Y-intercepts. Okay, plug in 0. Well, 1 over 0. You're not allowed to do that. So there's no x-intercepts, there's no y-intercepts. Symmetry, even and even. Yes, this is actually even. All right, I'm not going to plot any points first. I'm just going to try and figure this out. Okay, I need the x-axis for my horizontal. X equals 0, which is actually the y-axis, for my vertical. And then if you check in your calculator, you know where the L's go. But if I didn't know where the L's go, there's not any other dots on here. Am I supposed to put it here or what? If I check in my calculator, it goes there and there. X squared minus 5x plus 6. Right. Set the denominator equal to 0. The only way I'm going to know that is if I factor this, and it's cubic. So let's see. Let's just try 2. No, 2's not going to work. All right, let's try 3. In your case, what you would probably do with this is instead of trying stuff, you would go ahead and put it in your calculator and see where the asymptotes are before you even start. All right, so it's x minus 3 times x squared plus x minus 2. So x plus 2 and x minus 1. All right, I finally got it. The verticals are at -2, +1, and +3. Okay, you set the denominator equal to 0. Now you do the power thing. All right, the power on the bottom is higher, so that would be x-axis. Okay, and then you set the numerator equal to 0. Okay, so x equals 2 or x equals -1. Y-intercepts. You plug in 0. So it would say 0 minus 0 minus 2 over 0 minus 2, or minus 0. Minus 0 minus 0 plus 6. So it's -2 over +6. So that'd be -1/3. Symmetry. Nope, not symmetric. I got even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even. No, definitely no symmetry. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do with this. I need 3 verticals at -2 and at 1 and at 3. And I need a horizontal along the x-axis. And I need an x-intercepts at 2, right there. And at -1, right there. Okay, and a y-intercept at -1/3, which would be about there. Okay, And let's see now. If you've got your calculator, you already know. If I didn't have my calculator, I know I got to do something going through that part right there. I got no idea what I'm supposed to do with that dot. And no idea what I'm supposed to do out here. There's actually no multiplicity 2's. Everything is multiplicity 1. I figured that out when I was factoring. But you're not going to need that part. Okay, the reason why you're not going to need that part is because you can already look at it in your calculator. But because everything's multiplicity 1, it's got to cross and cross. So it looks like that. Okay, but once you get these 4 steps in, basically you use those as sort of scaffolding and then use your calculator to fill in the rest.